Once upon a time, in a grand lonely castle shrouded in an enchanted winter, lived a beast. His days were long and empty, a mirror of his heart. The curse that had twisted his form had also locked away his kindness, leaving only frustration and a roaring temper. His only company were the enchanted servants, who moved with a sad, hopeful whisper through the halls. The castle, once a place of vibrant life, was now a silent monument to a prince's mistake. Waiting, just waiting, for something to change. Then, she arrived. Belle. Her spirit was as bright as the sun, a stark contrast to the gloom of the castle. She wasn't just a guest or a prisoner, but a spark of light in the growing darkness. At first, the beast was just that, a beast. He'd roar and demand, his voice echoing through the stone corridors. He expected her to cower, to fear him as everyone else did. But Belle saw something more. Beneath the fur and the fangs, she sensed a flicker of the man he once was, a soul trapped and aching. One evening, seeking refuge from the beast's temper, Belle stumbled upon the castle's forgotten west wing. Pushing open a heavy oak door, she gasped. Before her lay a library, but not just any library. It was a cathedral of stories. Books towered to the ceiling, their leather spines like sleeping giants. Dust motes danced in the single beam of moonlight, piercing the gloom. For Belle, a girl who found her greatest adventures within the pages of a book, this was paradise. The beast found her there, lost in a world of words. He expected fear, but instead, he saw wonder in her eyes. "It's wonderful," she whispered, her voice soft. He grunted, "It's just a room full of books." But her enthusiasm was infectious. She pulled a volume from a shelf, its pages filled with tales of faraway lands and daring heroes. "They're not just books," she explained, her fingers tracing the illustrations. "They're windows to other worlds, other lives, other ways of thinking." That night, something shifted. Belle began to read to him. At first, he was resistant, pacing and growling, but her voice, calm and steady, wove stories that chipped away at his hardened exterior. She read of valiant knights, clever queens, and astronomers who charted the stars. She explained the science behind the constellations they could see from the balcony, a vast, glittering map above them. For the first time in years, the beast wasn't just a monster in a castle. He was an adventurer, a scholar, a dreamer. Curiosity, a long-dormant feeling, began to stir within him. He started asking questions, timidly at first, then with growing excitement. Why does the sun rise in the east? How can a tiny seed grow into a giant tree? Belle, delighted, answered every question with patience and a smile. She showed him encyclopedias filled with knowledge, atlases charting the entire world, and poetry that spoke of feelings he had long suppressed. The library became their sanctuary, a place where the beast and the beauty were just two minds, eagerly exploring the universe together. His gruff roars softened into thoughtful rumbles. He learned not just facts and figures, but empathy. He read stories of loss and felt a pang of his own loneliness. He read of love and felt a warmth spread through his chest that had nothing to do with the roaring fireplace. The books were changing him. They were teaching him what it meant to be human again, a lesson he had forgotten. One day, Belle had an idea, a bold and beautiful one. "This knowledge," she said, gesturing to the thousands of books surrounding them, "it's too precious to be kept locked away. It belongs to everyone." The beast looked at her, then at the books that had become his salvation. He had been selfish for so long, hoarding everything from his wealth to his own misery. Belle was showing him a different way. And so, a new project was born. Together, they decided to build a library, not just for themselves, but for the entire kingdom. The enchanted servants, filled with renewed hope, eagerly joined in. Lumiere used his flames to light the way for workers. Cogsworth, with his penchant for precision, drew up the blueprints. Mrs. Potts and Chip served warm tea to everyone, their cheerful chatter filling the once silent castle halls. The beast, now more man than monster, worked alongside them. He hauled heavy beams, his immense strength now a tool for creation, not destruction. He sanded shelves, his large claws surprisingly gentle. He found he wasn't just building a library, He was building connections. He spoke with the villagers who came to help, not with commands, but with requests. He listened to their stories, learned their names, and saw them not as subjects, but as people. The day the Grand Library opened was a celebration unlike any the kingdom had ever seen. It was a magnificent building with towering glass windows that flooded the space with light. But its true beauty was inside. Shelves were filled not only with the castle's collection, but with books donated by people from every corner of the kingdom. It was a library for the people, built by the people. Belle stood beside the beast at the entrance, watching as children with wide, curious eyes ran inside, their parents following with looks of awe. A blacksmith, his hands still smudged with soot, picked up a book on metal. A baker marveled at a cookbook from a distant land. Knowledge was flowing freely, like a river, nourishing the entire community. In that moment, watching the joy his actions had brought, the beast felt the last of the curse's icy grip melt away. He looked at Belle, her face glowing with pride, and realized the most profound truth. The magic that could break the spell wasn't about finding someone to love him as a beast. It was about him learning to love others, to be kind, to share, and to contribute. The change had to come from within. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the new library, a gentle light enveloped the beast. The fur receded, the claws softened, and the horns vanished. Standing in his place was Prince Adam, his eyes no longer filled with anger, but with wisdom and kindness. He looked at his hands, then at Belle, a tear of gratitude tracing a path down his cheek. He hadn't been saved by a kiss or a declaration of love. He had been transformed by the power of knowledge, the gift of curiosity, and the simple, profound act of building something beautiful for others. The true magic wasn't in a rose, but in a book. It was in the kindness that had blossomed in his heart, a kindness that was far more handsome than any princely face. And as he took Belle's hand, he knew their greatest adventure was just beginning. A shared story of love, learning, and a kingdom united by the magic of books. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales with a twist.